I hope you're live. Are we live yet? Yes, we are live. I'm guessing we are live already. So, hello everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal, and welcome to a live stream, a first live stream we've done in quite a while with my guy Cozy. So, in today's stream, we're going to be discussing Martin Ødegaard. He has officially rejoined Arsenal from Real Madrid, this time on a permanent deal for £30 million. We'll also be discussing Aaron Ramsdale. He has almost joining us, I'd say 90% done. He will be announced very, very soon, joining us for £24 million plus add-ons from Sheffield United. I'll ask Cozy about both of them. And also, we'll be talking about the Chelsea game. Should these two players start in the Chelsea game? Will Ødegaard start in the Chelsea game? Make sure to smash the like button. If you're watching on Facebook, we're on the road to 6,000 followers on Facebook. Make sure to smash the like button. Make sure to follow the page. And if you're watching on YouTube, as usual, make sure to subscribe on the road to 9,000 and make sure to smash the like button. And Cozy, how are you?
I'm doing great, bro. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'll tell you something. Last weekend was horrible. I think that was one of the worst weekends as a football fan, as an Arsenal fan. Like losing on a Friday and watching every other team smashing it, United.
Yeah, yeah. That's the worst feeling. That's the worst feeling. You know what? I at times I want to play last, like on a Monday or on a Sunday late evening.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
after seeing clubs crumble, then we play. That's fine. But losing on Friday and United smashing 5, like they're telling us what to do. It's horrible.
It's very bad, and this is like the fourth time in the last 6 seasons we are playing in the first game of the season. So it's usually not a good idea. So since then we've managed to get a couple of deals done. Now, I'm not sure whether any of them will play against Chelsea, but let's start with Martin Ødegaard. So obviously we've been hearing about him nearly the whole transfer window, but we didn't really know if we were going to sign him. So what do you make of this signing? Is he a guy that you'd have wanted, or would you have preferred the likes of Maddison?
Yeah, definitely. I wanted Martin Ødegaard back since February. I wanted him back. He had a very exciting month in March. And I want to be honest, many Arsenal fans really wanted him back. The difference is when we were linked with James Maddison and his numbers and his experience in the Premier League, and what he could offer and bring on the table. Yeah, we all switched our attention to James Maddison, but Ødegaard is a great player. Ødegaard is a very, very great player, especially if you think about his ceiling, 22 years of age. He's a very talented guy. He's a very talented player. I would have wanted James Maddison. There is no question about that, because with James Maddison, I know you're getting an impact immediately. You're getting someone who comes in to change the game, who comes in to change the team, someone who has that kind of lethal ability, to lift up the spirits of the team, to lift up the performances of the players around him. That is why I would have wanted James Maddison. With Ødegaard, you're never gonna get that. You're not going to get that. His ability is not one that actually raises the performances of other players. Actually, he works well if other players are working well as well. That is Ødegaard. But if you look at what we are trying to build, I think it's just a simple reflection of what Arsenal are trying to do: get young players, groom them together, and form a strong team in the next 2 or 3 years. Because if you look at our recruitment, this season, this year, 129 million spent. There is no player who's older than 23. No one. Ben White is the oldest, 23. Ødegaard is 22. Ramsdale, who we hope should be coming in very, very soon, is 22. Absam Bilakonga is 21, and Nuno Tavares is 21 as well. So I think what Arsenal want to do is build a team, build a structure of young players that actually develops together over time. So I think Ødegaard fits into that very well. Do I think it's going to create that massive impact of James Maddison? No, I don't think it's going to do that. I don't think that is what's going to happen. But for me, it's no reason not to support him. Like many Arsenal fans have already started to say, I don't want Martin Ødegaard. I won't support him. I think it's no reason for us not to support him. It's absolutely out of context. He's been here before. We know what he's done. We know what he has achieved, and we at least we know that he has already adapted to the system. Arsenal adapted to the Premier League as well, and at least we have a glimpse of what we are buying at such, I would say, a bargain. 30 million euros, which is around 29 million pounds. That's a bargain for me. That's a bargain for a player of the quality of Martin Ødegaard. He's actually not having. He's not in the last year of his contract. Not really. There is no buyback clause, in his contract. And I was surprised. By the way, I was really surprised. So for me, yes, I would have wanted James Maddison, but I still have a lot of trust and hope in Martin Ødegaard. I'm happy with the signing.
So I remember 2 seasons ago, after we won the FA Cup, Ceballos had really impressed most of us, let's be honest. And we were actually crying for him to come back at that time. So Ødegaard only played for Arsenal for 3 months, March, April, and May. So was there any time during that 3 months that you thought, you know what, we need to sign this guy on a permanent deal?
I think you're right, because it really happened with Dani Ceballos. But for me, my problem with Dani Ceballos is he really clicked towards the end of his loan spell. That is when we saw the Dani Ceballos, who's scoring against Sheffield United, helping us to win the FA Cup and things like that. With Martin Ødegaard, the moment he comes in, he creates a massive impact on the team. He creates a big impact. And Mikel was speaking about it today in his press conference, and he said, we know the kind of results we got with Martin Ødegaard in the side, and the kind of results we got without Martin Ødegaard in the side. And I think it's absolutely spot on. Arsenal do need a player like Martin Ødegaard, at least, to help us with the creativity and the mentality to keep that ball moving forward rather than sideways and rather than backwards. The decision to sign him on a permanent, I think, they could be right, they could be wrong. It's gonna be time to tell. But I think they just envision him as that kind of player that provides the creativity in the team they want to build 4-5 years to come.
Yeah, you've also mentioned about him being young. So as you said, Martinelli, Ødegaard, Ben White, Lokonga, Smith Rowe, Saka, even Balogun, Nketiah, all very young. I know what they're trying to do, even the likes of Tavares and even Ramsdale, who's about to join as well. Do you think we needed a bit of experience though in that position, or are you okay with them signing all those young players? Do you not think we need some experience in the team?
Yeah, I think what the team wants to do is now clear and visible. But again, we are a big club that is going to be questioned whenever we lose a game, whenever we draw, or whenever we drop points. We're still that big club that's always going to be, questioned. We are fans of a big club. We're going to be trolled, for losing a game or for drawing. So that's why I think maybe we should have done a bit of a mixture. Bring in at least a good experienced number 10 or number 8. Okay, if you've decided Ødegaard to be your 10, at least bring in a Houssem Aouar somewhere as your 8. Right, to add that kind of experience, to add that kind of feel, and add the creativity and things like that. Because you're not going to actually compete favorably with the likes of Spurs, with the likes of Leicester, with the likes of Manchester City if you're having these young players alone. It's not going to work. We saw it against Brentford. We saw it against Brentford. We had a lot of inexperienced players, especially going forward, and we were not a threat. We are absolutely not a threat. So I think, what they want to do, the project they're building is now visible, but the experience is needed. Because if you play Lokonga and Partey and Emu Smith Rowe and Ødegaard and Balogun and Martinelli, something's missing somewhere, honestly.
Hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry
Go
about
ahead.
that. Connection problems, don't worry, these things happen. So I've heard what you said though. So Odegaard has joined us for £30 million. As I asked Cozy, who did he prefer between him and Madison? We've talked about that for quite a while. Is he too young? Is he experienced enough for us? We have to wait and see. So there's been a few comments about him, and people have said he's overrated, he's average. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't. Now, the problem with Arsenal fans, and we shall speak about this when we speak about Ramsdale.
Mhm.
The problem with Arsenal fans is many of us, or many of them, because I'm out of the group now. I've decided to make to make content, so I'm out of the group. Many of them don't make research, but they'll look at a player, 1 or 2 games, or 5 games, or 10 games, and they'll give a judgment.
Mm.
We've seen players like Romelu Lukaku who have struggled in their life, and now they're 100 million.
Yeah, true.
The likes of Mohamed Salah. If we're buying Salah from Chelsea, every Arsenal fan would say, no, don't bring Salah. He's a Chelsea reject, and he is, he's average. He's bang average. But now, if you tell them, would you take Salah from Liverpool? They'll be like, I'll pay 200 million. So if you ask anyone, because many people have told me this, Ødegaard is average. But if you ask them, what is the reason? How do you support the fact that he's average? How do you support that? They do not have a reason, actually, because wherever he's gone, he's actually done well. At Real Sociedad, he's done well. At Vitesse, he's done well. The fact that he went at Real Madrid and didn't succeed, for me, it doesn't say anything. He went there. He was 16, 17 years of age. He went, there. He joined prime Real Madrid, right? He didn't join. He didn't join a club that was, that would give him the playing time he wanted. And ever since he joined them, he's been on loan, Vitesse, Real Sociedad, lacking playing time and things like that. And one of the things we've got to appreciate is, as a player, despite the fact that you're so good, you need the environment, you need the kind of love, you need to be to be appreciated, you need to feel important. He never felt important at one point in time at Real Madrid. He's gonna feel important at Arsenal. He's gonna feel appreciated, and I think he's gonna give us numbers and performances better than what he would give Real Madrid, because he was never appreciated there. They only appreciated him by buying him. That's the truth. They never believed they can build a team around him. There was Modric there. There was Toni Kroos there. There was Mesut Ozil there. He was never going to play football. He was never going to play football. At Real Madrid, and he knows it, and that's why they've come to a consensus to actually sell him out. So I think saying he's average, Arsenal fans just want to have. They just want something new that glitters, right? We want something sparkling that is new. Bring up, give us Gulf Sigurdsson, because he has never been here, but don't give us Martin Ødegaard because he has been here. That's what that's what they would say. I won't even be surprised, because we are Arsenal fans.
So, as I said, Ødegaard played in March, April, and May. What is the one thing you remember about him? What is the one thing that really impressed you about him?
One thing, and one thing that I'm still expecting, because I think it's part of his game, is the ability to control the game. That is the only thing. That's the best thing I love about Martin Ødegaard. And whenever he has the ball, you can sense it. You feel that kind of security that we are in possession.
Yeah.
Apart from Martin Ødegaard, I don't see any other Arsenal player that gets the ball and I feel we are in possession. I don't see any other Arsenal player that gets the ball and I feel like, we are building up. And that's one of the things he has. He gets the ball, freezes the moment, and then you start playing playing football. It's either gonna release someone, it's either gonna make a pass, or things like that. So I think his ability to to control the game and create rhythms for us. When we lose the game and win it back, can we create a rhythm? Because from the rhythms, you're actually gonna create the goal scoring opportunities and things like that. So his ability to control the game is one of the attributes I'm really in love with, and I would love to to see him do that on a regular basis.
So the other thing that I'd say that Maddison is better than him in is the pressing and the tactics that we've been using, the high pressing and stuff. Do you think he's good enough in that? Do you think he needs to improve on it in terms of high pressing, tackling?
I think his press lacks risks. That is the truth. Yeah, his press lacks risks because look at Bruno. If you're playing in that area, if you're gonna play in that area, you've got to take the risks. No matter how many shots you shoot off target, you've got to take the risks. Do shoot. Don't it doesn't matter how many times you're gonna shoot off target. Shoot.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many through balls are gonna be blocked. Make the attempts, for through balls. And I think he needs to add on his numbers, especially by attempting. If he can do that, by starting at least to give us more chances, trying to create more chances, trying to score more goals, he's gonna be a better player. But he needs to definitely improve on that. The Premier League is a league of numbers. The moment you fail to give us numbers, you're gonna be criticized each and every time. But I think his press is still a little bit weak, and that's why many people think he's average. His press is still a little bit weak, so he needs to be improving that.
Okay. Muewa says that's great news. Obviously, we agree. Some people still don't agree that it's great news. I always feel like when a new player comes in, I always feel like it's good news anyway, unless you're Andre Santos or Squillaci or those kind of players. Peterson says, hello, Glenn and Cozy. Big up to you guys. Hey, we like you too. We love everyone who watches our content. Really appreciate it. Alhaji says, thank God Ødegaard is back. Andrew says, Awar Bissoum and a right back next. And as AJ90 says, make sure to smash the like button. Whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, we have 40 people watching in total right now. Make sure to smash the like button. Make sure to subscribe and make sure to follow the page. And Simon says, finally, some good news. So I'd say most of the fan base is quite happy. Some are still not happy. Maybe we do need some more players, definitely. So the last part you're going to talk about in terms of Ødegaard is the formations and tactics. So last season you saw him playing as a number 10, and I did a video comparing him to Maddison. And I noticed that Maddison cannot play any other position apart from number 10. He cannot play on the right or the left. He's definitely strong as a number 10. Ødegaard, what we saw with him is he could play with Smith Rowe. They could rotate a bit. Ødegaard could move to the right. Smith Rowe could play as a number 10. Smith Rowe could play on the left, and Ødegaard as a number 10. They could rotate here and there. So which formation do you think you can use with him this season? Where do you think he will fit in? And if he plays as a number 10, does that mean no Smith Rowe?
Now, I think, when I saw him putting on, shot number 8, I was like, wait a minute. Is it what I'm thinking about? But Ødegaard is still a very young player. That's one of the things we have to know. So you could turn him into anything you want as a midfielder. You could even turn him into a defensive midfielder if you wanted to. But I think the best formation we can use because I don't think Mikel is going to drop ESR. I don't think he's going to do that. I think we will use him with Emu Smith Rowe, and I do not have any problems with that. So I think we might play a 4-2-3-1 where you have Emu Smith Rowe pushing a little bit to the sides, either to the left or to the right, replacing Nicola Pepe. I don't think he will replace Saka, but I think he might replace Nicola Pepe.
So Saka,
maybe. Yeah.
So Saka sticks in that left side position as I put it there.
Yeah, exactly. Saka remains there, then Smith Rowe pushes to to the side where Pepe is, and then Ødegaard is in front of the pivot, right? Because I think what Mikel will want to do is what Mikel wants to do is he wants to play a striker and another goal scoring another goal scoring player on the side. Then you play Martin Ødegaard as a creator and another and another creative player on the side, which would actually work for us. Two creative players. They help to help us create solve the creativity problem, and then you have two other players to help us solve the two other goal scoring players. Because if we can play Aubameyang central for the season, and then just take an example, if we play Martinelli, so Martinelli gives us the goals, and Aubameyang, then we play Emile Smith Rowe and Ødegaard, two creative players as well. For me, that would do it. That would do it. It means you're sacrificing Saka and Pepe. Tough decisions, really, really tough decisions. I don't think they're gonna really happen, that easy. But I don't think we'll play a 4-3-3. It takes a lot. It will really, really take a lot. It could even cause burnout in our squad. So I think it's gonna be a 4-2-3-1. Ødegaard is the creative man. It's gonna be the magnet. I think we will play with Martin Ødegaard as the magnet because he's so good at distributing that ball, receiving it back, and then redistributing it again. That is his beautiful part of his game.
Do you think he can play deeper than the number 10 position? Maybe if we play the formation that every Arsenal fan talks about, the 4-3-3. I saw someone in the comment section saying a 4-3-3 with Partey as the holding midfielder, and then Smith Rowe on the left side, Ødegaard on the right side, Saka as the left winger, Pepe as the right winger. Do you think that is too attacking?
I don't think it's too attacking, but with 4-3-3, it exposes you so much defensive-wise. That is my problem with it. And it calls for a lot of hard work from the players, and a lot of our players really do not work hard. That's the problem. If you have the mentality and rate of hard work of Kian all through the squad, that's fine. That's fine. That's okay. I agree with that. But most of our players actually do not work hard. The likes of Pablo Mari, I don't think they work hard. The likes of Chambers, Bellerin, I don't think they really do work hard. So with a 4-3-3, look at Liverpool. Robertson works works so hard, just like Trent. They work so hard. Then if you look at their midfield, Jadon Henderson and Fabinho, they work hard. Then you look at the likes of Salah, Mane, and maybe Roberto Firmino doesn't work hard so much, but the likes of Salah and Mane work hard. But with Arsenal, if you play them in a 4-3-3, you could have burnout. You could have really, really, bad burnout. And because, if you get burnout, these players are, you could, it could be in a very, very, you could put yourself in a very difficult situation. So I wouldn't play 4-3-3 really. It's a good one, but I think our players do not really work hard to sustain a 4-3-3. Yeah, I don't think.
Okay, so let me know in the comments section, which two from the three would you pick between Saka, Pepe, and Smith Rowe? Which two would you play and which one would you bench? For Kozia said he's expecting Pepe to be the one who's going to be benched. So Saka on the right, Smith Rowe on the left, and Ødegaard behind Aubameyang. So that's how it could end up being. I actually do expect it to be that way as well.
And I say that Pepe could actually get dropped, knowing at the back of my mind that I said in my season preview that Pepe is the key to this season. And I said it, and I still stick to it. I think Pepe, if used well, if he gets the time, I think is the key to our season this season.
I know we had the game that is actually on TV right now is Brentford against Arsenal. They've been showing it on TV for the last 1 week straight. So in this game, Pepe, okay, Smith Rowe and Tierney were the ones who stood out, and Lokonga was okay. But I thought Pepe, in terms of positioning, he did okay. He got himself into a couple of good positions, shooting positions, and it was the keeper who made a couple of good saves. So let's see how it does. I don't think he'll be dropped for the next game, but I wouldn't be surprised if from next week against City we switch to a back five. I would not be surprised at all. So AJ90 says loving the kit because he loving the white kits. He also says I like Ødegaard, but don't you think after being linked to Maddison all summer, Ødegaard seems like a letdown in a way? Personally, I do think so as well. I would have loved both. Obviously, Maddison would be a statement signing. The sad thing with someone like an Ødegaard, I don't like when Arsenal fans are the ones judging him. If it's opposition fans, let them judge him. So opposition fans would probably say or be scared when we have Maddison, but I don't think they'll be scared that we've signed Ødegaard, for example. We are very scared that they've signed Lukaku, Chelsea. If they signed a player like Morato, we weren't scared, for example. So anyway, we'll take him. We have to support him, and I think he's better than what we had. Anything.
And it's definitely not a short-term decision. It's long-term. It's not short-term.
Yeah.
It's long-term, really. Yeah.
It's definitely a long-term decision. So, comment in the comment section. Welcome to Arsenal, Martin Ødegaard. Make sure to comment. Welcome to Arsenal, Ødegaard. And the next player we're going to talk about is Aaron Ramsdale. So obviously, this has been a funny story. 2 months ago, he was about to join us, and then a month ago, he was silent about it, and then 3 weeks ago, still silent, and then all of a sudden, he just wanted him again because he played the last Sheffield game. So I was like, okay, played the first 2 Sheffield games, and then the last 2 games he did not play, including the last one where they lost 4-0 to West Brom, a team you're going to play next week in the Carabao Cup. So he didn't play. The manager said his head was not there, obviously, because he's joining Arsenal. So what do you make of this signing? Because that's the first question I'm going to ask you. Is this the goalkeeper you wanted, or did you want an Onana or a Johnston or those kind of goalkeepers? Or maybe an Okonkwo? Would you have given a chance to the likes of Okonkwo?
No. Arthur Okonkwo, no chance. Absolutely. Don't get me wrong. I think growing players from the academy and giving them a chance is fine, but I think we all definitely are going to agree Arthur Okonkwo is not ready. There's no question about that. Arthur Okonkwo is not ready. Now, with Aaron Ramsdale, I'm going to speak the truth. When we were linked with him first, I still remember he was called up for England for his English national duty because Dean Henderson had been dropped, right? So that's when we started hearing much about him, and I was one of those people who said no, Aaron Ramsdale, no. And the truth is, I had not made any research about Aaron Ramsdale. There was nothing. It was purely based on my instincts, and I said no, and everybody said no. But then I asked myself a couple of questions. One is, Dean Henderson is dropped. Why is Aaron Ramsdale called in? 2, why did Sheffield United pay £18 million for this relegated goalkeeper? So I decided to just take a look statistics wise and compare him to some goalkeepers in the league, and try to see what exactly is so special about Aaron Ramsdale. And tell you what, the 24 million we are paying, it might be too much for a goalkeeper. I understand. Of course, traditionally goalkeepers should be 8 million, right? Not so?
Yeah, around 8 to 10 million. You even signed a check for 10 million.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? Let's put the money aside. Aaron Ramsdale, as a backup goalkeeper, I have no problem with him. Honestly, I do not have any problems with him. Now, the people who criticize him, and this is why I really don't have a problem with Aaron Ramsdale, the people who are criticizing him are saying he got relegated with Brentford, with Bournemouth, and he also got relegated with Sheffield United. My first question is, if he got relegated with Bournemouth, why did he cost 18 million? Because for a club like Sheffield United to buy a goalkeeper at 18 million, a relegated goalkeeper at 18 million, there is something about him. And David Ornstein has been speaking about it today in the morning on Sky Sports and said there is no reason as to why people are giving him so much stick on social media. There is absolutely no reason. the goalkeeper is known to blame for Sheffield United being relegated. Not really. He was shot at so many times. He saved what he could save, and you know what? I don't really get the stick. I don't really get to justify this. The match stick that actually comes his way. I don't really get it. But I think it's more of, again, he's suffering from, I think, a comparison bias. Onana or Ramsdale. I think that's what he's suffering from. Many people wanted Andre Onana because he's the better goalkeeper. We know that. So you cannot really compare him to Andre Onana. But Arsenal wanted to get in a homegrown goalkeeper, according to the Athletic. That much we know. And they say, among all the homegrown goalkeepers, we will go for Aaron Ramsdale. I think he's a decent goalkeeper, by the way. I've already changed my mind. And I'm one person who's going to back him. And I think if Leno fails to improve on his, because Leno is drastically falling in terms of form, in terms of, I think his class is there, but form is falling. So if he drastically continues to fall, I'll give a chance to Aaron Ramsdale and see. His passing is not so lit. His his sweeping as well is not so lit, but shot stopping is good. Positioning is also good. Yeah, I've looked at a couple of scouting reports on the, and I think I did a video about one of them. It's not a bad goalkeeper at all. He's not really a bad goalkeeper. He's one of the best goalkeepers in the top 5 leagues among the under 23 goalkeepers. So he's not a bad goalkeeper. Not really a bad goalkeeper.
So as you've said, a lot of people are judging him because he got relegated. Keep in mind, Robertson played for Hull City. Maguire played for Sheffield United as well. So Nwankwo Kanu, the legend, he got relegated as well, I think, with West Brom. So it doesn't really matter if he gets relegated. I know he's actually been relegated 3 times. Ramsdale not even twice, 3 times. So could it be a curse? Could it mean that Arsenal also getting relegated now that Ramsdale has joined? Imagine that happens. I think that would actually make him a definite curse for sure. So the other reason why people are not happy is because of the money. Do you think he's worth £24 million and £30 million at the end of the day?
It's we are paying. We are paying the premium. We know that.
Yeah.
He's English. He's young. Yeah, and he is a potential talent. So you have to pay the premium. The premium is his actual price, because they bought him at 18 million, right? So probably they would have to sell him at 22 million, and the rest is English player tax fee, and we know that. So I think everybody believes Aaron Ramsdale should be around 15 million, but you're never gonna get him at 15 when they bought him at 18, right? So yeah, I think there is a question about the price, but because I know he's English and he's been with the English squad that made it to the finals of the Euros, that makes it even more expensive for him. I do understand where I do understand the calculations. I do get the calculations.
So personally, how do you feel about this signing? Do you think he's going to take over Leno in a couple of months and be our first choice goalkeeper? Or do you think he's just going to be a bench player for at least this season and maybe next?
This season, I think it's going to be a backup goalkeeper for the season. And he needs to be patient. That's why they brought in someone who's young. For a goalkeeper, if you're 21, 22, you still have a long future in your career, a long career. Because for a goalkeeper, you're young at 29. You've just started, right? Yeah, you've just started. So I think they brought him as a backup to Leno, but he's another goalkeeper, because if you look at some of the saves and positioning, it's another goalkeeper that can give a little bit of a push to ban Leno. Not a great push like Matt Ryan would give him, because Matt Ryan is almost at the same age as Ban Leno. So you would say Leno knows they're at the same level, right? But I think at the end of the day, he's gonna be a bench player this season, and maybe next season we can see more of him trying to get some playing time.
Yeah, I did see his passing accuracies is in 50s, like 50%, I think 57 or 59%, which
Yeah.
is worrying because, okay, for this season alone, he's played 2 games. Leno's played 1. So when you're playing more games, the percentage usually goes down because the more you play, the more you can't be perfect for every single game. So the more you play, the more the percentage of the accuracy goes down. So for Ramsdale to only play 2 games and have a 57% possession, if he plays 30, that could probably go down to 30% or 40. So is that a worry? Do you think he has a lot to do in terms of adapting to the style of play?
And not really. I think one thing Mikel needs to know is what is teaching the players is not actually sinking in. That is one of the things I'm gonna have problems with him all season. So with Aaron Ramsdale, he's coming from a Sheffield United side that I also don't think they're so good at playing out from the back. I'm not really sure. We might blame the goalkeeper, but let's look at how the other players position themselves to get the ball. Because for me, playing from the goalkeeper, make a goalkeeper making a pass to either a defender or a central midfielder or a CDM, it should be an easy thing. But how do they position themselves? That's the first thing. And how close are they, or how much space do they have to receive the ball? I don't think Ramsey is gonna be the worst the worst goalkeeper at passing the ball. His passing statistics are actually not good, especially with long passes. They're not really good. But I still think he's a young goalkeeper, so you can actually train him to do this and that and make him a better goalkeeper, and develop him into what you develop him into what you want, which is not the same thing with Leno. With Leno, I think he's already 29. Now you're telling you're trying to cultivate something new into an old goalkeeper. It's never gonna, it's gonna take a lot of time for him to adapt to it. Because Leno is a traditional goalkeeper, just hit it forward. That is what he's used to. But I think with Ramsdale, if you correct, because with Arsenal, how many players are good at playing out from the back? Only Albert Sambi-Lokonga. Only. No other player can be trusted in that Arsenal, back four and pivot. Not even Granit Xhaka. Not even Xhaka. So for me, it's only Albert Sambi-Lokonga that is comfortable at playing out from the back. So if Ramsdale comes in and makes a few mistakes, and people start shouting, you know what? Look at Ramsdale. He's actually made a lot of crap. I'm gonna tell them, actually, in this squad, we have one player, two, with Thomas Partey as well. I think Partey also can do that. We have only 2 players in the whole squad that are comfortable with playing out from the back. The rest would love to see the ball pumped forward and then, meet it there and start, building their football, right there. So Ramsdale, if he comes in at Arsenal, I'm not going to really try to look at the weaker side. I'll try to look at his positives and maybe how we can improve him as a player, because that's what that's why eventually he signs for a club like Arsenal. He knows they can help him reach his ceiling a little bit faster.
Okay, so those are Cause's thoughts on Ramsdale. When are you expecting it to be announced? Today, tomorrow?
Now, I think it could be tomorrow.
Awesome. So I'm sorry for the pictures on screen. I'll remove them. The screen froze. Again, don't worry about that. So, because the next topic you're going to talk about is Arsenal against Chelsea. So, big game this weekend. Big game this weekend. We cannot afford to lose this game. What are your expectations in this one?
I think when you ask me about expectations, I'm just gonna freeze. Yeah, I'm just gonna freeze, because I'm an Arsenal fan at the end of the day, so I don't want to say, "Oh, we're just gonna lose it." I don't want to say that, but again, I don't want to go ahead of myself and say we're gonna win this one. That would be so, that would be ahead of myself. But one of the things I want to see, or what I expect, is an Arsenal that tries to fight back, make us forget the stupid way we lost to Brentford, because we were completely anonymous. It was Brentford against Kientiani and Emil Smith-Rowe. Definitely, I don't want to see that. Yeah, I don't want to see that. And what actually frightened me, what made me very insecure, is Mikel picked the best 11. Nobody should should say otherwise. Mikel picked the best 11 in that game. Xhaka Lokonga, best pivot. Ben White Murray, best centre back partnership. Did we play Chambers and Tierney? Best fullbacks. Leno, the only goalkeeper we have. Balogun was the only striker we had because the Lacazette and Aubameyang were unwell, and Nketiah is out for 4 weeks. Pepe and Martinelli, everybody would have wanted to see that with Emil Smith-Rowe. That was our best 11. We lost to Brentford with 9 players non-existent, like anonymous, completely anonymous. They were erased from the game. They were completely erased. So I think the first thing I want to see is a team that works together and works hard. That's the first thing I want to see. These men, they will get the manager sacked. They will get, people are crying for Conte. We want to see Conte. These players can get any manager sacked because they don't really work hard. They don't. They absolutely don't work hard. So for me, I want to see a different Arsenal, first and foremost. Even if we lose 6-0 to Chelsea, but we played or we tried, I will understand. Yeah, I will understand. But if we lose 1-0 to Chelsea, and I feel like we should have done better, I'll be disappointed. But going into this one, I don't expect us to win, honestly. I don't expect us to win this game.
I think it'd be a nice fun to understand. I can tell you the meltdown that would be there if Chelsea beat us 6-0 at the Emirates Stadium. The meltdown would be very, very bad. Like, it would be poisonous for any Arsenal fans. So, other question, Martinelli, as you said, Balogun Martinelli started against Brentford. Who would you have preferred? Would you have preferred Martinelli as a centre striker on that day and Saka on the left straight away?
I think, Gabi is fine playing as a striker. Very fine as playing as a striker. But my problem is with around 3 strikers now that are competing for playing time, it looks like you better play him off the left. You better play him on the left, because there he's just competing with Nicola Pepe or Saka. He's just competing with either or Smith-Rowe. He'll get more playing time. He'll get more time, playing off that left-hand side. And I don't know, is he a winger? Is he a striker? Or is he just, a forward? But I think, giving Balogun that chance, for me was very, very vital. We wanted to see Balogun. And I didn't have any problem, with how they were actually lined. I didn't have any problem. My only problem is that it didn't work out. It actually didn't work out. So I would love to see him as a striker if Mikel does give him the chance. But if he wants him to play as a left winger, there's no problem. I know he can score many goals from that position. I know he can actually do well from that position. So I really didn't have any problems with him playing, on the left, and then Balogun as striker. I didn't have any problem with that.
Awesome. So thank you for the super chat, RK. So it's very sad that Balogun was absolutely nowhere to be seen in that game. He did not look ready. I did not know if Brentford were just too strong for him. But I remember 1 season ago, people were crying for Balogun to start. I do not think he's in the position to start even 5 games in a row for Arsenal yet. I mean, coming from the bench, yes, the last 20 minutes, 10 minutes, but starting, I don't think so. So thank you for that, RK. Let's take a few comments before we end it. I think we'll do a live stream and call this channel as well. So let me see. Louise Williams says, good job, thank you. Tegenu says, good signing. Kwesi had said, hi, how are you? And Kwesi actually disagrees with you because he says 4-3-3 is the best formation. It's more dynamic. Is it okay? Forget about Arsenal. Do you think 4-3-3 is a formation you'd like to have if you had your own team?
Yeah.
Would that be the first formation you'd go for?
Yeah.
Okay, so what about for Arsenal? Do you think what do you think we need to play this formation? Which player would you sign for us to play this formation? Just one player?
I don't think it's one player.
It's a lot of players. Okay, so
a couple of them. Yeah, a couple of them. You see Cancelo.
Yeah, Cancelo at City. Yeah, the way he plays, Cancelo, left, inverted, very, very good.
Yeah, exactly. So your fullbacks have to be like robots. That's the first thing. They don't get tired, and they don't give you anything less than quality, right? Yeah, that's the first thing. And then your midfielders have to have the ability to keep the ball. Keep the ball. Yeah? Because you're playing so high up the pitch. That's the first thing you have. So the moment you lose the game, you're playing a high line, so you could be exploited at any point in time. That's my problem with them, and that's why Liverpool actually suffered a lot when their defenders, got injured. And many people were like, "But Salah and Mane is still around. What's the problem? Why aren't they scoring goals?" That 4-3-3 is more like we are together in attack, but when we defend, a few have to be available. Arsenal, Pablo Mari, and the likes of Chambers, don't risk it. Please don't.
Yeah, they're not good enough to play that formation. I can tell you that. Even the centre backs have to be really good.
Exactly.
We have like 10 right backs at Arsenal, but no one can play that formation. Not Chambers, not Cedric, not Bellerin. You have to be like Cancelo, as Kozia said. You have to be like the likes of Robertson. Up, down, and you can also play as an inverted. You can come into midfield. You have to play a lot of positions. Kwesi also says I prefer Martinelli, Aubameyang, and Saka up front. So when everyone is fit, and if Lacazette and Aubameyang both stay, Kwesi, who would be in your front three or front four? Let's put it at front four. Who would play in your front four?
Front four. It's tricky. It's tricky. It's trickier with Ødegaard now in the mix. It's trickier to select a front four. But one, Martin Ødegaard. There's no question about that. As well, I would love to see. I'm dropping Martinelli. So I play Aubameyang as a center forward. Yeah, Aubameyang is my center forward.
Not on the left side defending. I do not want to see Aubameyang on the left side defending again.
Yeah, Saka is undroppable. We know that.
Yeah, definitely he has to play.
Yeah, and like I said, this season for me, Pepe is the key. So Pepe is the key.
So who misses out? Smith Rowe misses out.
Yeah, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, both of them miss out.
I know you always say numbers don't matter, and I know he's the one who asked for the number 10, but I think since he was given that number 10, I think he's going to play at least 28 of those games, at least start 28 of those games.
Yeah, I know.
Pepe, as I said, I don't think Pepe did that badly against Brentford. I think he had a couple of opportunities, and his positioning was great. But in terms of long term, I'm also seeing Smith Rowe being dropped, unfortunately. In the bigger games like against City or Chelsea, but in these home games, maybe play Saka as a left wing back or something. It's going to be interesting to see, especially if we add another player again. We have to wait and see. Alimi says, guys, do you think we can get a draw against Chelsea? That is your next question. Let me know your predictions in the comment section. Arsenal versus Chelsea. Cozy, what is your prediction? So last season at home, everyone expected Chelsea to beat us because we had that very bad run from November and December, and we beat them 3-1. At Stamford Bridge, we won for the first time since 2011. We won 1-0 and kept a clean sheet. And in the previous season, we actually got a 2-2 draw with 10 men when Martinelli made that crazy run. And at our place, we beat them as well. So from the last 5 games, 4 league games and an FA Cup final, we've beaten Chelsea. In all 5 games, basically. They've not beaten us in 5 games, apart from the friendly the other day. So what's a prediction? Do you think it can be another shock result for us?
You know, I still believe the reason as to why we beat Chelsea on Boxing Day was Chelsea undermining us and not working hard.
Yeah. And also because of Smith Rowe?
Maybe obviously, but their display was disgusting. Honestly, if I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm commenting F words, everywhere. You know what? It was disgusting. Honestly, it was disgusting. They didn't play good football. This time they have a no-nonsense manager in Thomas Tuchel. He would defend 90 minutes to beat Manchester City, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's gonna disrespect us. I think it will give us the respect that we demand, we need, and they will beat us. So I think Chelsea 3, Arsenal 1.
Yeah, that shows how not confident.
Sorry. Arsenal 1 is Emirates Stadium. Arsenal 1, Chelsea 3.
Wow, a 3-1 loss at home to Chelsea. That would be bad.
I pray I'm not right.
If we lose that game 3-1, I think we'll be like in 19th or 20th position because we're already in 17th. So, and City is next. Now, Chelsea, I never predict a loss against Chelsea, but City, on the other hand, I'm never looking forward to that game. City, it's always tough for us. Every single time, no matter how well we play, they always beat us anyway. Jonathan says that's good. To be sincere, we need a replacement for Ozil and Cazorla. We've talked about this with Cozy as well, like the likes of Nasri, as much as we hate them these days, the likes of Fabregas. Football used to be very good those days. We used to play great football. RK says we'll beat Chelsea 2-1. I really hope so. That would be a great result. And Jonathan says Arsenal 2, Chelsea 1. So a lot agree with 2-1. For me, I'm going to go with a draw. The first comment saying, do you think we can get a draw? Yes, I think we'll actually get a draw. I think the Lukaku aspect is too scary. I think he'll actually score on his debut, unfortunately. So Arsenal 2, Chelsea 2, and I think a draw would be good. Would you take a draw, Cozy?
Yeah, I would. I would definitely. I would take a draw.
So a draw would be great for us. But yeah, Chelsea call us their bogey team because we always beat them. So I think a draw would be good. But considering we lost to the Brentford game and we have City next and we have Tottenham in the next 4 games after that, by the second international break, I want us to have at least 17 points. And that means we have to beat Crystal Palace, we have to beat Norwich and Burnley after the international break, and we have to beat one of the big teams, either Chelsea, City, or Tottenham. We have to, from those 3 big games, we can only lose 1. If we lose 2 or 3, we cannot get to 15 points, and it will probably be like 14th or 15th by the 7th game, which won't be good. Alimi says we are playing Man City also, so we are losing 3 games in a row. Kightley and Coach, that's really painful. Okay, let's hope not. Obviously, we do expect us to lose both games, but let's just hope for the best. It would be, imagine the positivity if we won against Chelsea and got a draw at City. Everything would have changed going into the international break. So,
yeah.
Coach, just a quick one on the lineup. Leno stays in goal for you?
Yeah, Leno stays in goal. It's obvious.
Obviously, we know Tierney starts, we know Ben White starts, and you keep Pablo Mari, or do you bring in Holding?
No, of course. I mean, I keep Murray, but I'm getting disappointed though. I keep Murray. 2 bads don't make one good. Yeah,
at right back we have a lot of options. Are you going to play Bellerin, Niles, Chambers, Cedric?
If we are playing a back 4, I'm playing Chambers. If you're playing a back 3, that means we are playing. That means our fullbacks a little bit higher up the pitch. Then I'll play Ainsley.
Okay, that's Niles. And then in midfield, do you keep Jacques and Lokonga, or do you bring in an El Neni or someone else?
I'll play Abusambi Lokonga And yeah, I'll keep Xhaka on it because I really don't have any other options. But I would play Albasambile Konga and try out Smith Rowe deeper and see.
Okay, so Ødegaard was announced early, very, very early in the morning, 8 a.m. UK time, and that is because you have to announce it and get it registered before midday for the person to play over the weekend. So I think he'll be in the squad. I think they'll manage to sort out his visa and stuff. So if he's available, do you put him straight in?
No, the website, the Arsenal website says he's not available.
Already confirmed?
Yeah, already confirmed, not available.
So I still wouldn't be surprised if he stays because I think that is the reason why they announced him very early in the morning. So you have to wait and see. But if he's available, do you start him?
I mean, because we suffered a loss, in the at the beginning of the season. I want to use all my equipment. I want to use all my guns. Yeah, I start him. Honestly, I do.
Okay, so if he doesn't start, if he's not available, you start Smith Rowe as the 10. And do you bring in Saka on the left side for Martinelli?
No, I still keep Martinelli.
Okay, Martinelli to start, Saka on the bench. Is that because Pepe? Is that because
not Saka on the bench? Not Saka on the bench.
Okay, Martinelli on the left, and then on the right, Pepe, Saka.
Pepe is my forward.
Wow. So Aubameyang on the bench for you.
Yeah, Mikel says he's suffering from COVID, so I don't expect him to be fully fit.
He will be fully fit. And I think unfortunately they will have to rush him. I don't think we can go into this game without Aubameyang and Ødegaard. We looked very blunt in the last game. Because if you go into the next game the same.
Do you think there is a possibility Aubameyang will come back?
Yeah, they said he's recovered. Lacazette is still recovering. Aubameyang has recovered, so I expect him at least in the matchday squad. On the bench or the starting lineup, I'm not sure which one, but if he's available, do you put him straight in?
No, put him on the bench. Pepe is my forward. Pepe as my forward. Saka, Martinelli, and Smith Rowe.
Okay, so that is Cause's formation. For me, I don't think you can go with the same lineup we did last week. It looked very blunt, and now we are facing a tough opponent. So we just need something new. Obviously, it's not something new because they've been there, but you know what I mean, something new from last week. Whether it's an Aubameyang, whether it's an Ødegaard, whether it's a Partey or a Cedric, just something new in the team completely, or a Gabriel. So that's the formations and the tactics and the predictions. And Cause, thank you very much for coming on. Last question, out of 10 so far this transfer window, what do you give it? Obviously, we've given Tierney a new contract, Smith Rowe a new contract. A couple of players have left. Still there, dude in the club, the likes of Kolasinac. We've signed 4 or 5 players now. What do you give it out of 10?
For now, I'll give it a 3.
That is weak. That is very, very weak. We expected like an 8 or a 9 this transfer window.
For now, I'll give it a 3. 1, we have still not moved on the players we have to.
True.
Xhaka's new contract takes 5 marks off the 10.
Yeah.
Bellerin being here, that's another mark off. Sid Kolasinac being here, that's another mark off. So I'm generous. 3 is generous. 3, I'm still generous because I don't want to see Sid Kolasinac here. I don't want to see Bellerin. I don't want to see players who have already shown that they want to go, honestly. So 3 out of 10. And if it ends here and these men don't leave, I'm actually giving it a 2 out of 10 because honestly, the signings we have made do not massively improve us from where we were. We are actually the same squad last season.
Very, very true. So a 3 for Cozy. Let us know in the comment section which one you'd go for out of 10. For me, I'd give it, I'd add 1 mark to that of 4. I think signing a backup left back was really needed in Tavares. I've been impressed with Lokoma so far. Ben White, forget about what the opposition fans say. Obviously, they will talk about Ben White playing badly against Brentford. He did not judge a player after one game. I do not like seeing Arsenal fans saying Ben White is terrible because he did not play well against Brentford. Let the Man U fans say that. Let the Man City fans say that. Let the Chelsea fans say that. He's a good player. Let's hope he improves. It was a terrible day for everyone. So I think he's a decent signing. Maybe not for £50 million. Maybe it should have been 40 million. I agree with that, or something like that. Randerson still here as well. Willian still here. Yeah, I don't think it's above average. It's way below average. So if I was giving House, it would have been 3.5 or 4. So 4 for now. So Kozi, thank you for coming on. I'll be on Kozi's channel later on. Make sure to smash the like button if you're watching on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure to subscribe on the road to 9,000, and we'll catch up with you guys later.